Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Creator Codes. Today's episode is all about intuition. And I love this topic because it's literally what I do, it's who I be. And I was really thinking about how I want to dive into this topic in a way that will help people, especially that are more logically tuned, to understand this so you can also explain it to people that maybe are not in the spiritual world using the word intuition just like it's the word the you know what I mean? Because I know for me I say intuition probably 10 times a day just with the way that I live, what I do, all these things, right? And you probably are the same. And so when it comes to being able to explain it to other people, or just even for your own logical mind to get on board with developing your intuition, with being an intuitive, these definitions can really help. So let's get into it. So I asked on Instagram. If you guys are following me, you'll know that. And if you're not, then definitely let's connect on Instagram. It's where I like to hang out most. But I asked, what is your definition of intuition? How do you define intuition? And it was really interesting. Most people were saying it's an inner knowing, or it's inner guidance, or divine guidance, right? Things like this, which, yeah, absolutely. But these are, again, terms that are more esoteric, because when you really think about it, how do you know that it's a knowing? I know that's like a little meta, but like when you know something, how do you know where that's coming from? Like, how do you know if that's your ego, which it usually is, by the way, with most people that are walking around. I'm not saying you in particular, but there's a lot of people, of course, there's a lot of people on the internet, a lot of people that are intuitives, but they're channeling information that's not exactly from God or from angels as they might think it is. And it's because their intuition's not trained. And that's okay. But my goal is to be someone that helps humanity come back into our roots and like literally root down our light and our abilities so we can live out our soul path, our soul pulse, and literally like live the best life we can here on earth as this human iteration of our soul. So much fun. So the definition, the more scientific definition of intuition is decoding light, or reading light, or deciphering light. Because everything in the universe is made up of light. So that's pretty cool. That means that when you use intuition, you are reading information, because what light carries is information, right? If you were to ask a scientist or a researcher, if you had to define what God is, they would say it is the purest form of light. It is the purest light there is. Because the whiter the light, the more information it has. The blacker it is, the more information it's missing. So light carries information. And so when we're reading anything, when we are being intuitive, we're reading light, which is reading information. So if you want to know where the information is coming from, instead of just going, oh, I'm picking up that it's a yes, or I'm picking up that he loves me, or whatever it is, you might be reading someone's thoughts. You might be reading the collective consciousness. You might be reading your guides. You might be reading Mother Earth. You might be reading your pets. Like, there's so many things that you can be reading. So how do you know what information, like where is that information coming from? And it really depends on your intention if you are asking a question, because most people walk around and they're just like, oh, my intuition is telling me this, my intuition is telling me that. And it's like, okay, but where your intuition is like a telephone. So what is your intuition connected with when you are receiving that information? Is it coming from your guides? Is it coming from God? Is it coming from the ego, from your own thoughts or someone else's thoughts? I mean, 98% of our thoughts are not our own. And that's because we are always, like satellites, receiving information because of how thought fields work, all of the different fields work, our energy fields and our electromagnetic field and just electricity in general. We're all picking up each other's thoughts as long as we are on Earth with other humans, as long as we're on social media and consuming things, and our thoughts are oftentimes just taken over mostly by what we're constantly consuming, what we've been programmed into thinking. And a lot of them are habitual thoughts as well. But it's really interesting to know that 98% of our thoughts, on average, are not our own. And it's because we are always picking up information. So that's really cool, because knowing this, that means we can start to decipher, is this my thought? Is this someone else's thought? Right? And there's ways to do this when you really get into the development of, how to understand where we're tapping in with, what we're receiving, and be more intentional about that. And it takes time and it takes practice, and it's an ongoing thing for as long as we're alive, especially because of everything that has happened with the pineal gland and all of the fluoride in the water and all of the toxic food and everything like that. That is working against our brain in being able to receive these types of information that is intuitive, that is creating, helping us be the gifted beings that we are. Is the pineal gland is huge. And the dark agenda, we'll just say, doesn't want our pineal gland to be working at full capacity, because if it is, then we become very powerful. And when there's power to the people, that's not good for the people that want to divide and conquer, right? They can't divide and conquer if we can literally see through it, if we can follow our soul pulls and use our intuition to live our best lives. That means we are empowered. That means we are energized. That means we don't need a mommy daddy type of government to just surrender to, because we don't know any better. They need to tell us what to do because they set the rules, right? It's all of these things. So intuition is very powerful to the point where, yeah, there's dark forces that don't want us to have it. So by developing this gift, I mean, there's many gifts within intuition and different ways to develop it and different types of intuition. And when we do so, power to the people, power to us. We can override a lot when it comes to our health, when it comes to the best relationships for us, to soul lessons that we're learning, to our soul pulls, and even just to everyday decisions of drinking coffee or eating this food or any of that, right? Our fitness goals and stuff like that. And we can really collapse time and timelines when we use intuition. There's so much that can open up. There's so much that can open up in our lives when we use it and we know how to use it. So another definition of intuition, besides decoding light or reading light, is universal language. Intuition is universal language. So intuition is something that we can use to understand, to decipher, to hear, to communicate with everything out there. Because everything is made of light. So it is a universal, literally universal language. Do you ever meet someone who does not speak a word of your language, but you can still communicate in some way, right? There's other ways to communicate besides words. Intuition is like the language for everyone to know, because this is what you can communicate with everything. and you can read information that will help you, again, like collapse timelines and have breakthroughs, and you don't have to go through certain struggles and things like that if you talk with certain energies. And it is important to know which one to tap in with too, because just for an example, your guides can lie to you, and they do often, so they can bring you to a lesson. Your higher self, on the other hand, won't lie to you, because your higher self can tap in with timelines that can let you know basically what you need to know in order to maybe bypass a 5-month illness or struggle or breakup or whatever it is. And it's not about bypassing the lesson. It's actually learning the lesson through intuition, so you don't have to go through the months or the years of struggle to learn it the hard way. Intuition is basically like a cheat code. So, and it really helps you just be in balance. Like literally, it's the key to a balanced life. So if you don't make a choice with what you are choosing, okay, how do I say this? Okay, so if you are not making a choice, if you're not making choices every day, then the universe will make choices for you. And that's where those lessons come into play. Because if you're like, oh, I don't know, we'll see, and you're not using your free will to be, I don't know, I'm hearing the word advocate, to be an advocate for yourself, or to like be bold in what you are choosing, then the universe is going to choose for you. And intuition is the only way to get out of that cycle of choices being made for you. Again, if our thoughts are 98% are not, mostly not ours, then the choices that we're making, that we think we're making, are usually not even our own choice anyway. And that's why it's harder to get on your soul pull. It's almost impossible to be on your soul pull if you are not using your intuition and you're just letting these thoughts take over. It's so wild. We literally live in a sci-fi movie. We live in a sci-fi movie. But yeah, even with intuition too, we'll activate more of our brain. So we talked about the pineal gland, but most people are functioning at about a 7 to 8% of brain function. That's normal. That's literally normal. And it's just like DNA, where I think science will say, oh, a lot of it's just junk DNA. It's not for anything. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Same with our brains. Again, it's just normalized, and people are walking around with about a 7 or 8% functioning, usage of their brain. And geniuses, research shows that geniuses use 11 to 12% of their brain. That's like top-notch, top quality. So imagine developing your intuition and using more of your brain that will take you above and beyond that, because intuition is the only way to do that. And it goes beyond a lot of logic and even, what science has like at least revealed, because there's a lot that science has uncovered that is not even revealed to the people. Because again, power to the people, that's scary for the people in charge. So I wanted to keep this episode shorter today, but I wanted to kind of plant that seed of how exciting it is that you can literally talk to anything in the universe. You can read information from many places. So maybe what I would suggest that I leave you with today for you to do is just tap in with one source of information, and maybe that's just God. And it feels very powerful to do that. Or maybe it's just talking to your angels for the next week. Play around and like start to get these connections more solid in a way where you're not just like all over the place trying to get information from anything and everything, which is what we do naturally. And then that's kind of what has shaped our ego to be this thing that works against us in a way if it's not working in conjunction with our intuition, which happens over time. yeah, it happens over time when you use intuition in a way that it becomes more of like a storage bank. How do I say this? It's really interesting. Like when we're not relying just on our brain for information or like the thoughts, there's so much more access that we have. And like Akashic Records is also coming through. That's a place you can read. So intuition is cool because it's making me think of like a hard drive for your computer that you plug in, but you're not like constantly running the computer until it, and that will make the computer die faster, right? It doesn't work as well when you're constantly storing everything right on the computer. But intuition can help just like an external hard drive where you're not having to like use all of your power because there's so much light information that's out there that we can connect with. So it's not necessarily like just your brain, just your body that has to know everything intuitively. It's the connection that we have and where we can kind of store this information where it's not overloading our system, if that makes sense. So intuition is a muscle though. And when you use your intuition, it does take up more energy because, well, we haven't used it for a very long time as a collective, right? As society has gone this way and we're kind of trying to, if you're a part of this crew, it's like we're decalcifying our pineal gland. We are doing everything we can for our health, for our vessels, and for the connection to the truth rather than, taking on other people's thoughts as our own and then feeling disempowered and being like, oh, I guess maybe not in this lifetime. Like, no, this is our lifetime, baby. This is the lifetime to really tap in and do some decoding of light, reading light. And this is a very activating time. And the veil is very thin. It's easier. It's like, it was really hard, but it's becoming easier because there's more and more people that are like willing to do this work, that are increasing the frequency, and it's easier to tap in with these light sources because this conscious collective, we are increasing our frequency and our consciousness, which makes it way easier to use our gifts. So anyways, before I babble anymore, definitely tune into more episodes because we'll be talking more about this. Look out for an upcoming course. And if you want a taste of what I have to offer, I do have a free, or it's donation based, but you don't have to pay anything, upcoming class called Decoding Signs, Symbols, and Synchronicities. And this is going to be so much fun. It's one of my popular classes. I don't have too many people signed up right now. So if you come, it'll be awesome to have you. I think I'm going to be doing a reading for someone that comes live as a little gift, little surprise gift for someone. And that will be a really good taste of what it's like to be in a course or a class with me and just to hang out and have fun. I love to meet you guys. So feel free to come for free. You can send a little donation, whatever you like. I'll put the link below. And you can check out my offerings below as far as readings go and things like this. As you guys know, like I read tarot, and tarot really did help activate and develop my intuition to a certain point. And now, developing intuition more and more, it makes it easier to use tarot, but you don't need tarot cards. Actually, like, you really don't need tarot cards to use intuition. It is something that is a really fun tool, and I personally love it. I know you guys probably love it as well. Maybe not. But I do have tarot readings and things like that available on my website. Or you can book a personal session with me and we can really dive into this, and I can help you out with whatever is going on in your journey. And I do want to let you guys know that I have partnered with the Galactic Federation of Light, and this is a clothing brand that is so on point with my brand, with who I am, and just even as a customer, like I was their customer first. Have you guys heard of this brand, Galactic Federation of Light? Literally, they charge their clothes. They charge their clothes with a frequency. Talk about light. And I was so drawn to this company years ago. And I bought a two-piece like sweatsuit. The top says Lightworker and the bottom says Galactic. And it's super high vibrational clothing. And you can receive a discount if you use Cassie, C-A-S-I, at checkout. I'll leave that link below. So at least check them out because they have some angel number pieces and so comfortable, high quality, made in the USA. I just have to plug them because I love them so much. Their mission, it's a small company, it's a family company. Like they welcomed me into their family. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And I don't get paid to promote them, but I do get commission if you guys buy with my code. So definitely use my code if you end up buying something from them, and send me a pic if you get something. So anyways, I'll leave all the information below. Thank you for liking, for subscribing, for being a part of this podcast. Whether you're watching on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you are, I'm sending you so much love, so much gratitude. Thank you for writing a review, for rating the show, leaving a comment, sharing with a friend. There's so much more to come, and I'm sending so much love and so much light. Love you guys.